I stepped on a Lego. I'm done for the season. I'm done, son.
Holy shit.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the one and the only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. I guess I should have ducked if I was going to do that, so that you guys can see it, and then just scream between my fucking legs. Welcome to the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. I'm your host. It's your boy Rumboyz Robbie. Today we'll be talking about navigating around fantasy football injuries. First, I just want to remind you guys really quick, this is brought to you by Monkey Knife Fight. MonkeyKnifeFight.com. Download the Monkey Knife Fight app. Use promo code Rumboyz. Get matched on your very first deposit all the way up to $100. You don't want to miss out on a value like that. If you're in a daily fantasy prop action, get on over to Monkey Knife Fight. I'm going to help you win money this season. If you join our YouTube channel, I'm going to be putting out a newsletter at the beginning of every week with all of my locks for the week and all of my picks for the week. Some stuff that I'm not going to cover on air. So make sure you guys get on up with MonkeyKnifeFight.com. Promo code Rumboyz. I'm going to be marching you guys, sailing you guys all the way to cash money. Let's go. Also want to remind you guys that about the SportsMe app. Link in the description. SportsMe is sports you. Real athletes, real fans, real analysts, real content being made. If you got a fantasy football question, head on over to the SportsMe app, because I'm able to just pick up my phone and I'm able to get right to you right away with your answer to the answer to that question. If you want to debate me or whatever the case may be, get on over to the SportsMe app. You don't like something that I say here on the show, get on over to the SportsMe app. Let's discuss it over there. I'm always ready. I'm willing to get it popping over there. Let's get it going over there on the SportsMe app. Link in the description. I'm ready to make some content with a lot of you guys. Yo, before we get started, all right, I feel like that this is super appropriate and super needed, given that this is a injury episode, an injury breakdown, an injury pivot, if you will, episode. And injuries fucking suck, right? With that being said and with that being stated, y'all know how we do here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. If you're new, you will see this practically every podcast, every damn show. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. And all the Rumboys and girls, what it do. Dilly, dilly. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Feeling good, feeling great. Feeling good. How are you? Let's get into this episode, ladies and gentlemen. The first player that I want to talk about, I had a lot of this, man. Had a lot of rostership surrounding Irv Smith Jr., and it sucks because the Vikings, it sucks, but in a way we were able to redeem ourselves from this with a couple of different ways and a couple of different strategies. If you wait on late tight end like me, you were probably keying in on Swerve and Irvin. You were ready to swerve with Irv at any given moment during this season. I'm a late tight end type of guy. That's just what I like. I like the thrill of finding that late value, and I felt that he was going to be a value this year. He is out for the season following that meniscus surgery, having to undergo the meniscus surgery. Won't be back for at least they're saying 5 to 8 months. So he's pretty much out for the season. We can pivot one of two ways. We want to stay on the same team, right? Let's say you've already drafted and all the tight ends are out of the pool, if you will. You can swerve from Irv and stay on the same team and go Tyler Conklin. I have been doing that in leagues that I've already drafted, that I early drafted in. I'm going and I'm getting Tyler Conklin. I know they picked up Chris Herndon, but we already know how the Chris Herndon story ends up. if you want to go and pick up Chris Herndon, I have no problems with that. If that's you, if that's your style, if you want to be more risk adverse in setting up your lineup, I'm not saying that Chris Herndon can't pop off in a new uniform in a new location. I'm just not trying it. One of the things I want to point out is that Robert Tanyan, Mr. Rob Tanyan, up there in Green Bay, his ADP has been slipping into the future, where now you can actually grab him at pretty decent value, coming in at tight end 10. If people keep wanting to avoid the ability to have Tanyan, and Tanyan was kind of right there in that, range where you were probably going to grab, an Irv Smith anyways, I have no problems pivoting towards Tanyan. I like Jonnu Smith a lot as a late round tight end grab. A lot. Higbee's been getting a lot of noise during the offseason. Gesicki, if you want to get sicky with Gesicki, I like that option as well. If we want to keep it with late round tight ends, those are guys that I would target. I don't know if I'm willing to go after a Gronkowski, Cole Kmet, a little bit too late. If we are looking for a sleeper, Anthony Ferkser, everyone's just sleeping on Anthony Ferkser. He's not even being drafted. I like Ferkser if Irv Smith is off your roster. So that's how I would deal with Irv Smith. A lot of tight end talk right there for the first few minutes. Let's get in next here with J.K. Dobbins, okay? And not even a J.K. around. This injury fucking sucks. I saw it as it happened. I was sitting back, on my couch. I'm like, fuck, like that really just happened. Why was he even in the game? But there is also that old adjective of can't coach scared, right? Can't coach scared. We don't know if Dobbins wanted to get out there, get on the field. And in the words of Boobie Miles, let me spin, coach. Let me spin. So we don't know if he wanted to get out there and get some reps or spin or not. With that being stated, okay, with Dobbins, I'm looking to now acquire if I'm not able to grab Gus Bus. So once again, going the same thing I said with Irv Smith, if you've already drafted, it's an easy pivot to try and just go and get Gus Edwards. All right. And we could drive the bus and see how that works out. If you haven't drafted yet, I like Gus Edwards on your roster more so as kind of a low end RB2 to flex play. I feel like you should definitely strengthen up, and what happened with Dobbins now makes an even bigger case for you to go running back heavy with the final week of drafting approaching. I think you should go running back heavy. Maybe you go Derrick Henry, Najee Harris, or Derrick Henry and Antonio Gibson. And then maybe that's when you finally start, looking at receivers in single QB formats, or maybe that's when, after you've gone running back, you go and you get a quarterback. And then maybe that's where, to kind of avoid where J.K. Dobbins would have been. Anywhere between the third to fourth round is where I'd be looking at Gus Edwards, and I'm willing to take the chance on Gus Edwards. If we want to pivot towards different teams and kind of around that area of J.K., this is where I'm really going to recommend James Robinson. Okay, this is where I'm going to recommend James Robinson. And we'll actually talk about Robinson here later on in this clip. This is where I'm recommending, where that Miles Sanders, Josh Jacobs, type of feels are, that Myles Gaskin. The person I want you to come out of that whole grouping with is probably Mike Davis. Mike Davis has been slept on. Freaking Quadre Olson, all right, is going to be his backup. Mike Davis is going to be the clear-cut RB1 in Atlanta. I don't know why we're fading Davis so hard. Granted, we've seen teams before that have a quote-unquote RB1, and they work around, they pivot in multitude of different ways. I think that Davis is a great grab if you were eyeing Dobbins heading into drafts. If you don't want to take the reach on Chris Carson, or if Chris Carson already comes off the board, and then you're looking at Gaskin, you're looking at Miles Sanders, the rest of those guys that I kind of mentioned, and you're not feeling too confident within those, I'm confident in taking, either Mike Davis or Miles Sanders, somewhere within that grouping. But Davis for sure, for damn sure, is who I'm attacking. Let's navigate now Travis Etienne. Now, I had just mentioned James Robinson, right? I had just mentioned the UDFA undrafted free agent in Robinson. Etienne, Jacksonville, Duval, their first pick going down, or I'm sorry, well, their second of their first round picks going down in Travis Etienne. So we won't get to see that Lawrence Etienne pairing. But this benefits Laviska Shenault. Okay, so with Travis Etienne, this is going to be different. Because if you need a running back, right, obviously you're going to go James Robinson because now that is the clear answer. We knew what James Robinson was last year, and we can only expect that he does that exact same thing this year. This benefits Laviska Shenault. Laviska Shenault stonks. It's straight stonks. It's going all the way up, all right? Straight stonks on Laviska Shenault. This is where maybe, in that range where I was looking at Etienne, hopefully I'm gonna be able to grab Robinson. But if I want to pivot there, let's say I've already gone running back. If it's super flex, then maybe I go quarterback. Kind of a later quarterback, like third round QB. Maybe I grab like Tannehill, right? Maybe here's where I grab a receiver, grab another running back, which is around the time where you'd be thinking about Etienne actually. Maybe around that time where I'm thinking about maybe grabbing another running back, maybe I pivot and maybe I reach, on Laviska. Laviska's still probably, you can get a little bit later, but I think that Travis Etienne going down, and I personally feel that Travis Etienne going down more so helps Laviska Shenault. James Robinson's going to be James Robinson. He's going to do James Robinson things. I mean, it helps James Robinson in the essence that Etienne is not there taking touches, but outside of that, and now those touches going to Robinson, but outside of that, I think that this more so helps Shenault. I think this enables you to where if you were feeling like you needed to go and get Etienne and you didn't know what was going to happen in that backfield, that question is now solved for you. You can now probably go and get a receiver here in that round. If not, maybe you pivot, maybe you go Javonte Williams or something or the other. If you're really wanting a rookie that bad in a redraft format. Etienne was more likely probably going to be your flex play anyways, unless you were going 0 RB, which I usually don't prescribe. But if you're going more robust RB, it sucks that you're not going to have Travis Etienne because it was definitely going to be Etienne season, if you know what I mean. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been my breakdown on how I want you and how I feel like you can navigate around these injuries of which we talked about. You can find me on Twitter at Rumboyz Robbie, at Rumboyz R. Somehow like it pops up, but whatever. Just type in Rumboyz, you'll find me. Type in Rumboyz, Google us, rumboyz.com. Anywhere that you have social media or you're looking to find a connection with us, hit all the links in the description. Hit up Monkey Knife Fight. Hit up the SportsMe app and challenge me. And I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls, what it do. Dilly. We love and appreciate you. Peace.